If employment rates remain sluggish, the unemployed population will inevitably be drawn to the lower strata of the job market. This is a very real, somewhat helpless, and profound issue today. I will share with you how our neighbor Japan has experienced an economic situation very similar to ours in recent time, based on their experience from 1990 to 1998. Due to the burst of the bubble economy and the impact of the financial tsunami, unemployment rates continued to rise and employment rates remained low. For the first time, there was a population shift from large cities to small towns, only to concentrate again in large cities because small towns and rural areas also lacked job opportunities. It is highly likely that our country will also see a group of young people who are unemployed or dissatisfied in big cities fleeing from fierce Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Tiknek, and returning to their hometown. Moreover, a significant proportion of young people will also return to big cities because the comfort, stability, and low income of their hometowns can no longer satisfy their heightened expectation. If employment rates continue to be sluggish, the number of people wanting to go abroad to earn money will also increase just as many years ago. In that era, many people from our country went to Japan and the United States to work, selling the same labor and time to get more remuneration. Most of their ideals were simply to use their youth to earn quick money for a few years, then return to their country and hometown to enjoy financial freedom and early retirement. However, objectively speaking, although there may still be many people with such ideas or plans, the current international economic situation is no longer sufficient to support their gold rush dream. Even if they go abroad, they may not be able to earn as much as their predecessors because the gap between domestic and foreign has become smaller and smaller. And in many aspects, the domestic has even surpassed the foreign. Entrepreneurship will become a normal behavior. Some of the employable population may choose to start their own businesses, establishing companies or engaging in individual operations, becoming self-employed. The internet has provided many new possibilities that were not available to ordinary people in the past. Showcasing oneself on the internet and gaining fans and popularity is no longer a privilege of celebrity. Talented or distinctive internet celebrities can become social hotspots like stars and have the characteristics of advertisers, dividing the wealth that only stars could obtain in the past. At the same time, the continuous enrichment of material life will make more and more people lazy, which will promote many entrepreneurial opportunities. For example, the increasingly popular errand services, home cooking services, etc., will also become new paths for many unemployed people. In addition, the demand for spiritual level will be more and more valued under the increasing social pressure of today, which will break the past economic practice that only material products are more likely to generate transactions. For example, the sprouts of accompanying shopping, playing games, and accompanying medical services in big cities have emerged. When waves of young people change from daily work to trying to start businesses, endless business opportunities and industries will be born. Of course, compared with working, starting a business has certain risks and uncertainties. Rural or small city low-salary positions, especially those with established positions, will continue to be unattractive if employment rates remain low, prompting many unemployed people to leave the city and return to their hometown. The pressure of life in rural areas or small cities is much smaller, and being close to family can help. Therefore, even a low-salary position, as long as it pays steadily, will have a certain appeal. This will also become a major choice for unemployed youth. The better the economy, the less attractive, stable, low-salary jobs become. On the contrary, taking exams for established staff positions will become the mainstream choice for many people. It is difficult to find a job, and the employment environment is not good, which will prompt many college students to be unwilling or dare not to enter society directly. They're willing to continue to stay in the campus for further study, take postgraduate entrance examinations, and become teachers. Learning new knowledge and skills, improving their competitiveness, and looking forward to the next stage of their studies ending when the economic situation can improve, and then entering the workplace with a higher level diploma to find a more satisfactory job. Lowering one's expectations and finding employment across fields and professions. For example, an engineer from an internet company who becomes unemployed and then engages in blue-collar work, participating in new competitions, but competing differently due to potential advantages. Of course, this also has certain risks, such as some blue-collar positions that do not require high education and work experience from large companies, but require a strong physique and skilled experience. However, it cannot be denied that this is also a major destination for many unemployed people. There's also a possibility of staying at home to save expenses, which is similar to Japan's low-desire society. Young people who cannot find high-paying jobs do day-to-day work, and then maintain basic living requirements with extremely low living costs. Not shopping, not getting married, not having children, not socializing. Of course, I do not advocate this lifestyle, but it cannot be denied that this may also become a direction for some people's choices. Original small-scale entrepreneurship is also likely to be a choice for some unemployed youth, such as breakfast carts, snack stalls, and handcrafted products made at home. I once knew a girl who often used her summer vacation during college to earn some pocket money. Her business was very simple, making sour plum soup at home, and then buying some packaging for soy milk online, with a small lid that can be twisted open at the top left or top right corner. She sold dozens or 100 packages with 2 or 3 simple refrigerated boxes. Don't underestimate this unremarkable small business access. The girl said she could earn enough pocket money for half a year in one summer. Young people are not short of eyes to discover business opportunities school. It's just that they are too busy with work to have the energy to do side businesses. But one day, if they really become unemployed, side businesses must become the main business, and they will come up with a lot of business strategy. No matter how bad the economic situation is, there are still some industries that can make money, which are the unique hot industries of that stage. And many unemployed youth may study, again change majors, of course. This requires higher self-learning ability and also needs some value of luck, and it will not become the mainstream destination. Of course, there is also an inevitable major direction that is youth returning to their hometowns and villages to start businesses, alleviating urban pressure and making up for the lack of rural talent. It may be possible to increase the number and treatment of rural towns by increasing the establishment, attracting young people to pursue that iron rice bowl and stable work within the system. This direction may become a mainstream trend, or it may backfire. In short, whether you are still studying or have already worked, you should develop a habit of continuous learning. When others are entertaining, you can learn an additional skill and improve your ability to resist risk. When others are unemployed, even if you are unemployed, you can find a new way to support yourself more quickly.